podcast for you, so it's easy to be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you very much. Wow. It makes it seem like, you know, if you're watching the Royal Rumble match, you always know that a Rumble happening in Boston, Massachusetts is always going to be a memorable one on some occasion. And it's pretty safe to say the least that it's going to be very, very exciting. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special bonus episode on Gotta Have Heart Wrestling by yours truly, Jamel Honus, your host of the podcast here. And I just watched an interesting one from Boston. I know the most recent memorable ones from 2011, the first and only 40-man Royal matchup here, but that's another one to talk about. There was another Rumble that happened in Boston. Let's take you back 8 years prior to the 2011 one, the 2003 one from the then Fleet Center in Boston, Massachusetts, the 2003 Royal Rumble event here. This Rumble event will take place in Boston at the Fleet Center on January 19th, 2003 here with an attendance record of 15,338 fans. This Rumble will definitely see you run to remember here. A fully stacked undercard and an amazing Rumble match itself. I think this is one of the better Rumbles to happen since the new millennium. So that was one of my favorites too. Me being from Boston, I actually wish I had went to this Royal Rumble event here. Too bad I couldn't, but at least me and my mother had got to see it on pay-per-view when it came on at that time here. I mean, look who we had leading to the Rumble here. We had this rivalry between Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit for the WWE Championship. Every time these two best technicians in WWE history are gonna get in the ring with each other, it's gonna be a 5-star matchup here. No matter what, in my opinion, I love a Benoit Angle matchup. You're gonna get to see it all in this matchup here. It's amazing that these two are gonna fight for the WWE Championship. You got Triple H and Scott Steiner. Who would ever think in a million years that Scott Steiner would show up in WWE after exiting to go to WCW in the 90s? He's back, new look, new attitude, challenging Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Mind Triple H has been on top since being crowned the World Heavyweight Championship on September the 4th, 2002, thanks to Eric Bischoff on Monday Night Raw. It's amazing to see here. You got other cause matches like the Dudley Brothers challenging Lance Storm, William Regal for the World Tag Team Championships. You got a special stepmother stepdaughter match between Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson. And you have another match between Brock Lesnar versus the Big Show 101 to see who get the last entry spot in the Royal Rumble matchup here. Amazing here to kick off the say the least here. Let's kick things off here. We had also had a match on pre-show where Spike Dudley defeated Steven Richards in 3 minutes and 36 seconds here. Not pretty much a bad match to, kick out the pre-show at least here. Spike Dudley, being as high as it was in Dudley Boys, beating myself Monday Night Raw here. Challenging Steven Richards here. This thing, but Steven Richards has a lot of characters. Remember he first showed up Party Invasion by Chronic, the tag team of Chronic from WCW, in the Invasion angle to challenge the Brothers of Destruction. Before that, he was the leader of the Right to Censor by the Goodfather, which is the Godfather, Val Venus, and Bull Buchanan, who is now being known around this time as B Squared, former running buddy of John Cena. Interesting, huh? So, you got the Steven Richards character here. Mind you, Steven Richards is more famously known in ECW days than his WWE days for all the stuff he's done in ECW. He's a good wrestler. He really is. Even he went to TNA Impact in 2009, 2010. So, the Steven Richards here, a portrayable character no matter what he did in his career. Probably the lamest one was probably the BWO, the Blue World Order. I didn't get that one. I think it was a damn really, 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 really bad, rip off of the NWO. So, yeah, that's probably his worst gimmick by far, the BWO. So, yeah, despite not getting the win here, it's pretty good. All right, let's kick off the Royal Rumble event here. We got Brock Lesnar versus the Big Show, the last one to gain the last entry to the Royal Rumble matchup later on tonight evening here. Mind, it's the last between these two men. Mind you, Big Show, I want to say subsequently defeated Brock Lesnar, but screwed Brock Lesnar thanks to Paul Heyman and Madison Square Garden at the 2002 Survivor Series here. And Brock Lesnar got revenge by screwing Big Show out of Armageddon Zone to and Kurt Angle beating Big Show to become a three-time WWE champion that night. So let's just say there's a lot between Brock Lesnar and Big Show here that had to be settled here. I'm actually glad that the Royal Rumble kicked off with this event with this match here, as high stakes this match was. So I'm glad the Royal Rumble WWE did a good job kicking off pay-per-view with the Brock Lesnar Big Show match to gain the last entry into the Royal Rumble match itself. So it's pretty fitting, you know. We saw no influence by Paul Heyman here, but Brock Lesnar would get the win in 6 minutes and 29 seconds, gaining the last entry into the Royal Rumble match here. And Big Show, well, bad enough for Big Show here. So, man, Brock Lesnar, no, he was in a fight with the Big Show. Now he's got to prepare for 20 other guys. It's not going to be easy. It's possible, but at the same time, it may seem seemingly impossible. There you go. All right, next up here, we got the Dudley Boys challenging Lance Storm and William Regal for the World Tag Team Championships. There's been a lot of scrutiny here, you know. We've seen over the past several weeks here that William Regal with the what does Jerry Law used to call it? The right fist, the power of the punch. You know, he's always had those brass knuckles stuck into his tights or his boots, no matter where, even behind the referee's back here. So if you look back at this match, you'll see the beginning, but the referee is checking both Lance Storm and Regal to see this ain't no shenanigans in this match up here. The other boys really out wrestled this time. The other boys were looking really hot here. And they had a history of being World Tag Team Championship matches. This is a third Rumble consecutively where they challenged for the World Tag Team Championships. So, pretty amazing here, you know. The Dudley Boys hit the 3D on Lance Storm, pin on 1, 2, 3 to get the win in 7 minutes, 24 seconds. Dudley Boys are your new World Tag Team Championships in Boston. Pretty damn cool to see the Dudley Boys, one of the most decorated tag teams of all time. If I had put my top 5 tag teams of all time, the Dudley Boys are in that top 5, to be honest. They really are. From ECW, WCW, WWE, Impact Wrestling, they have, and even New Japan. The other words, I've always won tag team champions no matter where they go. They really are the most decorative tag team in WWE's history. Really amazing what these two can do here. All right, next up, we got Tori Wilson versus Dawn Marie Wilson. I know, pretty sure that last name, but let me tell you the history. This is pretty bizarre as it gets here. If you want soap opera drama, you're gonna really pay attention to this matchup here because you had Dawn Marie and 2 months prior, I think back in October, early November, that started dating Al Wilson, which would play Tori Wilson's father on TV. And seemingly enough, they got married, and to the point where Dawn Marie had taken the last name Wilson, thanks to Al, and seemingly on their honeymoon had a heart attack. Al Wilson had passed away. They had this funeral thing set up here, and then Dawn Marie, in front of everybody, probably pastors too, accused Tori Wilson of killing her father. And that's what led us to this match here tonight. This is pretty, personal as it gets. I never seen any more personal matchup in Rumble history other than this women's match. So, yeah, pretty bizarre to say the least here. So, superstar matchup here. Dawn Marie, most likely she dominated most of the matchup here. And Tori Wilson, you can tell she's very emotional coming to this matchup here. But Tori Wilson will get the win. Pinning Dawn Marie Wilson 1, 2, 3 at 3 minutes and 36 seconds. So not a bad ploy, to see what's going to come here. At least Tori Wilson got revenge, but sadly enough, she would not get her father back. So pretty, sad to see when this match will turn about here. Talk about Jafria's play. So, yeah. Alrighty. Well, next up, we see Scott Steiner challenging Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, keep in mind here, Scott Steiner had come to WWE, made his first appearance at the Johnson Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden, taking on both Christopher Nowinski and Matt Hardy's version 1. I got to put the version 1 in there because I love Matt Hardy version 1. Who doesn't? That is probably cool. I think that's cooler than the Hardy Boy, Matt Hardy. It really was. I love Matt Hardy version 3 one day. That was so damn cool. Like I really got. I wish I had the T-shirt. But yeah, like surprisingly enough, here we have a lot of influence by Ric Flair, a steel chair, even of course the signature sledgehammer. Even one time referee was knocked out to the point where thing. So yeah, but Triple H Reed sledgehammer gets disqualified by striking Earl Hebner with the sledgehammer, and Scott Steiner again would be a disqualification, but would not win a world championship here. But Scott Steiner left us a lasting impression on this matchup here that he would be the last man standing here. But Scott Steiner wins via disqualification in 18 minutes 14 seconds here. This is how much Triple H was on fire. I mean, Triple H, mind you, he was awarded the world championship September 4th, 2002. Had this great championship run. Evidently lost to Shawn Michaels in the first ever Elimination Chamber match at the 2002 Survivor Series pay-per-view event. Now, he defended the championship against Triple H at the Three Stages of Hell at Armageddon. Losing it in that third fall, which was contested in a ladder match style. Which Triple H had regained the championship. Next time Raw, he gets a challenge from Scott Steiner here, which is pretty interesting because Scott Steiner, I think this was the first time in WWE. Even though Scott Steiner had previously been a WCW champion in his WCW tenure. But now, in WWE's first time ever challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship, you know, I really kind of, this is what I think. I really expected that this event, Scott Steiner, to win the World Championship and be as dominant as Triple H was here. But I think, in a way, WWE was trying to, be like, okay, let's get Scott Steiner to win, but let's keep championship with Triple H. So this was the perfect way to go about it. Give him the DQ victory. Make Triple H's profile more unstoppable. Because, like I said, Triple H being the world champion on Raw, including everybody, including Eric Bischoff, who was the Raw GM at that time, was best for business. And Triple H was best for business. I mean, trust me, if you got a general manager who's arrogant and cocky as Eric Bischoff, he's gonna want to have a heel champion. So even though I would have loved Scott Steiner to win the championship here, I think it was better to keep the championship on Triple H personally, just because you want to see how much good guy Triple H can fight and defend the championship against and somehow win or steal a victory. And that's what Triple H got here with the DQ, knowing that he would still walk out of Boston in the World Championship here. And, you know, Triple H just had good success in Boston. I mean, WrestleMania 14, he defeated Owen Hart, for 10 European Championship. But who don't forget the King of the Ring 2000 when he lost the championship? Well, subsequently, his father-in-law, Mr. McMahon, lost the World Wrestling Championship at the time to The Rock in that six-man tag team match up here. So, Triple H just, history in Boston is kind of like half and half. You win some, you lose some. So, you know. Oh man, maybe see backstage promo about Kane and Rob Van Dam after saying that they are partners, every man for himself will win a matchup here. So pretty damn amazing. All right, let's get to this anticipated WWE Championship main event between Kurt Angle, the champion, and Chris Benoit, the challenger. Now, WWE nowadays won't mention Chris Benoit and probably great matches and moments and whatnot, accomplishments, just because of the incident that happened in '07. Of course, very understandable. I get it. But you can't deny the fact that Chris Benoit personally has gave the WWE and the WWE Universe some of the greatest matches in history. And this is one of them. You go back and watch the whole match of Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Out of any match these two have had in the past, whether it was the submission match at Backlash, the battle of WrestleMania 17, the battle at you know, freaking Unforgiven Town 2. Like every time these two would mix up in the ring together, you're going to get a classic technicians wrestling matchup here. It's really amazing. Even we saw Kurt Angle try to apply the ankle lock so many times, Chris Benoit countered it or get the rope. You see Chris Benoit try to apply the crossface on Angle, counter, reversed it, and got out of it. It's pretty amazing. I love the submission type wrestling and the grappling technician wrestling from both Angle and Benoit in this matchup here. Angle would seemingly lock in the ankle lock. This time, we didn't really see this much in the past in Town 2 and prior, but this first time he had the great, the grapevine off in, pinned so much torque in the ankle lock, it forced Benoit to tap out and retain the championship in 19 minutes and 49 seconds here. Mind you, got to give it for Benoit. Benoit fought his ass off that night here. So Benoit, I kudos to Benoit. If he won the championship, that would have been freaking amazing. That really would have been. Benoit was on a hot roll, mind you. Angle and Benoit were the first ever WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions back at No Mercy Time to debut. Of course, their partnership didn't work out, but nonetheless, they either the team with each other or going against each other. You're going to have a really amazing match between these two very highly skilled superstars here. All right, up next, we got the 30-man World matchup to see who will challenge for their brand's World Championship at WrestleMania 19. Of course, we know that Shawn Michaels was number one here, and seemingly Chris Jericho, who Fitzpatrick and Raw, named himself the number second entry. I don't know if that was smart on Jericho's part, but I guess Jericho wanted to make history. I can't wait for that. I mean, he's already the first WWE champion. He really wants to make history by winning a match number two. So alrighty, kick off the event here. Schmeichel comes out here. We'll see Chris Jericho's entrance. His music pops out here. But it wasn't Chris Jericho. It was Christian. Chris Jericho come out with line with the low blow here. Peter Shawn Michaels hit with the steel chair, busts him open. Christopher Nowinski comes out number three here. And we see just bloody and bad Shawn Michaels being tossed over the top rope by Chris Jericho. Really bad break. I would love to see Shawn Michaels dominate this Rumble here in Boston. So it sucks that, you know, Shawn Michaels only lasted about, let's see, 2 minutes and 31 seconds here. So it was a bad break for Shawn Michaels with no elimination. So that was kind of a disappointment, letdown. Number four, we got SmackDown's Rey Mysterio. Number five, SmackDown's Edge come out here. And mind you, these two will former tag champions as well. So of course they're gonna kind of work together a little bit and battle each other to see who wants it more. You know. Up next, we got Christian, and we're thinking Christian, Hogan's brother Edge, thinking, okay, let's go back, let's form a Christian again. He gets chased with the Rey Mysterio, turns around, gets speared by his own brother Edge, and that was probably one of the good moments there. Number seven, SmackDown's Chavo Guerrero. Number eight, SmackDown's Tajiri, and number nine, SmackDown's Bill DeMott. If you don't know who Bill DeMott is, go back to Tough Enough Season 3. On WWE Network, the whole season's on there. He's been pretty good. A really good athlete, one of those big men. Mind you, he used to be Hugh Morris back in WCW here. So you're thinking, if he was a big time superstar in WCW, why would he go to Tough Enough show to train just to get into WWE? I see it as a way to revamp himself because many people, including me, did not like the Hugh Morris character in WWE. Actually, here's an interesting fact though. Here's how much that character sucked. Hugh Morris. If you go right now, they have the WWE Untold series about Goldberg's streak in WCW. You'll see that it stated that he defeated Hugh Morris out of the 173-0. I think he defeated Hugh Morris at least 10 times to make that streak 173-0. So yeah, that's how much that character sucked. It really did. The worst win-loss record in WWE history and WCW's history. So you're gonna come to go to WWE, revamp yourself as Bill DeMott, and let's just say this character is a lot better than Hugh Morris. It really was 10 times better, 20 times better. You know. Next we got Raw's Tommy Dreamer. He bring up the trash cans, candlesticks. This is really about to become a hardcore rumble here. And number 11, B Square. For those who know who B Square is, this is formerly known as Bull Buchanan of when he used to team with the Boss Man back in 2000 and used to be part of the Right to Censor. That's what B Square is. He used to be Johnson's former running buddy, but the two had a collision in the past weeks on SmackDown, leading up to the Rumble here, broken up. B Square is on his own. So, yeah. Next up, number 12. Before we do that, we saw Chris Jericho eliminate at least 6 people here. We saw eliminate Tommy Dreamer. We saw eliminate Tip Jerry. We saw eliminate Edge and Christian and Rey Mysterio. So, let's just say he was on a roll here. Number 12 comes out Rob Van Dam from Monday Night Raw here. Number 13 is Matt Hardy. Number 14 is Eddie Guerrero from SmackDown. So pretty cool here. Unless we got number 15, Jeff Hardy. Return Jeff Hardy here. And we haven't seen Jeff Hardy quite some time here. We had that face off with his brother here. And see a spot where he's going to do the Swanton Bomb on his own brother, Matt Hardy. And, Shannon Moore, who was a Matitude follower, I guess Mike Hawes had said it on the commentary. Being a Manitou follower, gets in the ring, tried to laser on top of Matt to protect him, and Jeff Hardy splits them both at the same time here. So, yeah. Oh, actually, hold on. Matt Hardy, when he came out there as entrance, number 13, you can see that even though it said that little info on the right side of the TV screen, Matt Hardy just likes mustard. You can see Matt Hardy kind of tripped his way into the ring a little bit, play console before he fell flat on his face. But that was a pretty funny spot to see. I don't know if any of you fans caught that, but that was pretty damn funny to see here. Next up, we got Rosie, one half of the 3-minute warning here. Rosie, who will be one of Roman Reigns' uncles, real life party small in Dynasty. So pretty cool to see. Next, on number 17, we got Test here. Test will come out and dominate this main righteously here. So pretty cool. Number 18, we got John Cena, who rapped about the whole 90 seconds of always ring here and wasn't one of the best raps. I know he was still trying to get into the economics gimmick, but this rap was terrible. It was a waste of 90 seconds. So yeah. At 19, we got one half of the world's greatest tag team, Charlie Haas, a part of Team Angle here. Number 20, Rikishi. Number 21, Jamal. The other one half of the dream that wanted here, who will be probably better known as Umaga later on in his career. And regardless of so Umaga, one of the greatest Samoans to ever step foot in the WWE ring here. I wish he was a world champion at least one time. Too bad he wasn't. So, all right, next up, number 22, probably the greatest woman competitor of all time, Kane, coming out here. Number 23, the other half of the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin, coming out here. Number 24, Booker T. Number 25, A-Train. And number 26, Maven here. We start to see the ring fill up here as we get close now to the nitty gritty here. Number 27, Goldust. Number 28, The Animal Batista here. This would be Batista's special rumble here, just to point that out. And he didn't really do too bad here. It's actually kind of room for Batista to win this rumble here. That would have been cool if he did. Number 29, Brock Lesnar, who had defeated the Big Show to gain entry to the rumble match here. So, he was pretty dominant. He eliminated Matt Hardy, eliminated the World's Greatest Tag Team at the same time. So, pretty cool, yeah. And number 30, the return of The Undertaker from SmackDown here. And he came into a big pop that night. Really big pop. I'm glad to see all the Bostonians on their feet to Grand The Undertaker right into the ring on that motorcycle. Really damn cool to see. And Undertaker found dominant this matchup here too. So yeah, at the point it came out to the final four of Batista, Brock Lesnar, Kenny Undertaker here. This is really interesting. You got four big guys, two from Raw, two from SmackDown, and you gotta really think about it. This is probably one of the most interesting and best Final Fours in Warner's history here, because you people didn't know, looking at the talent through Warner, but that how big of a star Batista and Brock Lesnar were going to be, even though they never met each other one on one. But subsequently, this is an interesting fact. This is the only time in WWE's history where Batista and Brock Lesnar were in the ring at the same time. I know, can you believe it? The only time in WWE's history. We never got to see the infamous one match between Batista and Brock Lesnar. You did that what if matchup. This is the only time in the ring on pay per view ever in the history of the company you will see Batista and Brock Lesnar in the ring at the same time. It's pretty incredible here. And you gotta really think about it. Like whose idea was to trust, both Batista and Brock Lesnar at early stage in the career to be in the ring with two of the badass superstars of Kane and the Undertaker here. Really cool here. Undertaker eliminated Batista. Then we see, at least I thought, forming an alliance between Undertaker and Kane to gang up on Brock Lesnar here. Undertaker tossed out Kane, his own brother here. His place was still chair that came back in this ring here. And Brock Lesnar come from behind the Undertaker and throw him over the top rope to win the 2003 Royal Rumble matchup here. It was a fun Rumble to watch. It was exciting to see this here. And, this is really, really amazing here. You got Brock Lesnar, who had made his debut on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 18 last year, has a feud with the Hardy Boys, wins the King of the Ring, tries to feud Rob Van Dam for the Intercontinental Championship, beats Hulk Hogan on SmackDown in August of 2002, meets the Rock for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, has Rob against The Undertaker. As they win the Hell in a Cell No Mercy, defeats The Undertaker, loses the championship to the Big Show Survivor Series, screws the Big Show championship of Armageddon, and wins the 2003 Royal match in January of 2003. This was amazing. I don't think, probably maybe Kurt Angle and Undertaker through 2000, but other than that, I don't think nobody's had a better rookie year than Brock Lesnar has. He's now getting focused back to being WrestleMania. I mean, not many people can say that they made him the first WrestleMania in their rookie year at WWE. Brock Lesnar, I think, and during that time, even till 20 history, he was the first and only one to do that. It is amazing how Brock Lesnar has come in his career. Many people can say, okay, yeah, Brock Lesnar nowadays who WWE, he wouldn't have only from the championship. If he was a champion, maybe 3 times in 1 year. But I think he has earned that reputation to be and do whatever he wants in WWE history. No wonder this man is so high in Brock Lesnar just because the amount of effort and work he can put into it and the main attraction that he can bring to the table and just get the fans to be interested in, like, this is a real badass. I don't care if that's 3 times. Yeah, still going to pay this amount of money to see this guy wrestle and kick ass, no matter who it be. This is amazing. It really is. I would have been taking the win the Royal, but this wasn't his time yet. But I'm glad that After match, Brock Lesnar earned that spot the Undertaker here, and close the show with the fans happy that Brock Lesnar is going to WrestleMania to face the WWE Champion Kurt Angle. Really amazing Rumble. I give Rumble about 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really amazing. I love the sound of the Rumble. I can watch the Rumble again and again. That's how good this Rumble event was. Well, thank you guys for joining my podcast here. And don't forget, we're less than 5 weeks away from Royal Rumble here. And New Year's, don't forget, I got a special New Year's full episode coming tomorrow on the God Half Heart podcast here. And I'll talk about more about my website and merchandising sales coming in February of 2021 here. You have a good everybody and enjoy the rest of your evening.